Welcome to this Providium training video. In this video, I will show you the basic features of the Providium OEE Report Wizard. The Report Wizard is a core feature of the Providium OEE solution, and it allows users to create and manage OEE reports. Note that users must have security permissions to access the Report Wizard and to create or modify existing report templates. If you don't see the features I explore in this video in your Providium application, you will need to check your security settings. Over the course of the video, I will show you 1. How to create a simple report, both on the fly and from pre-saved report templates. 2. The types of report available. In Providium there are 4 basic report types: production reports, loss reports, log reports, and roll-up reports. 3. The report template management features, such as how to copy and share reports, how to delete reports, and how to schedule reports to be sent by email. And 4. The Report Wizard security settings, how to set user permissions relating to reports. Okay, let's get started. Head over to the Reports section of the Providium OEE monitoring module. Again, if you do not see the Reports menu option, it is because your administrator has not enabled it for your user account. The Report Template Manager opens up. I'll go through the features of the Template Manager at the end of this video, but for now, let's create an on-the-fly report. First, click on the Add New Report button. The first page of the Report Wizard opens. In this page, we can select the style of report we want. For example, we are going to create a production trend report. Click the Next button to move forward. Now select the period over which the data is going to be calculated. We can choose an individual shift, day, week to day, etc., etc. Let's choose the customized period. With this option, we get to select the start and end date of our report. Click Next to move forward. Now we choose which machine or group of machines that we want to include in our report. We will leave this at the default, which in this case is Assembly Machine 1. Click Next. Now that we have completed the machine selection, this page allows us to give a name to our selection. In Providium, the items which are not related to the report period are referred to as objects. So this entry is the object name, and it is a way of describing the group of objects that we are going to include in our report. We can leave it as default, or we can give it a customized name. Click Next to move forward. We now select the fields we want to see in our report. By adding fields to our report, we force the data to be grouped by these fields. The default field for this report type is YYYY-MM-DD, year, month, day. This is a date format. This will force the data to be grouped by unique year, month, day, date values. If we also wanted the data to be grouped by area, we could drag and drop the area name field onto the report. The drag and drop procedure is to click on the icon beside the field, then holding down the click button, move the mouse pointer to the destination location and release the click button. If the destination is valid, the select field will move to the new location. Likewise, to remove a field, click the icon beside the field and drag and drop it back to the available fields list. The data in the resulting report will be sorted in order that the fields appear in the selected fields list. We can change the sort order by using the drag and drop procedure to move the fields into the order we would like. In this example, let's move the area name to the top of the list. and therefore the data will be sorted by area name first, followed by year, month, day. Click Next to continue. Now we can select the functions or KPIs that will appear in the report. Like with fields, we drag and drop the functions we require to the selected functions box, and we remove the functions we don't want by dragging them back to the production functions box. For demonstration purposes, I will add the uptime function and remove the quality function. Now we will make uptime the first KPI column in the report. Click the icon beside the uptime function and drag it to the top of the list. Now click Next to finalize our report. At this stage, we have defined the structure of the report. The last thing to do before running the report is to decide if we will display the data in chart and/or table format. If we display a chart, we have a number of styles to choose from, depending on the type of report. Let's choose table only. Click Run Report. Because we have chosen Customized Period, we now are prompted to enter the start and end date for our report. Let's start from the start of the current month and run the report up to the current date. Click Run Report and now see the resulting report data. In the header section, we see the report type and the date range. Notice the fields we selected on the left, area name and year, month, day, followed by the functions starting with uptime. Notice the object name, my object, above the data. This is an on-the-fly report. There is no permanent record of this report structure. If we click on another page, the report settings will be lost. To save the report settings, we save the report template. Click the X icon to close the report. Click the X icon again to close the period selection. And now we are back at the report details page where we can save the report settings. We simply enter a name and a description for our report and click the Save Template button. The report design will be saved, and we can see a reference to the design in the table at the top of the page. Our report was a production trend report, so we must have the report filter set to production trend to see this report. Clicking on the report record in the templates table will open the period selection window. Now we can run the report from the saved settings with any dates we like. In our demo application, we have a number of preloaded templates. Let's run some of them now to see how they look. First, the OEE by hour report. This is a day report. We select a date to run this report. And we can see that this report gives an hourly breakdown of OEE values, both in chart and table format. Next, the Assembly Machine 1 Shift Loss report. This is a shift report. To run this report, we must select the date and the shift we want. This report shows a list of OEE loss reasons and the time associated with each reason. The time is displayed in a pie chart in a table. Next, the combined plant OEE report. This is a day report. It's a roll-up report. It shows a pie chart of OEE losses as well as a trend chart of OEE by hour for each object. The values for the individual machines are rolled up into the areas, and the areas are rolled up to a plant overall value. Starting from the bottom and working up, we see moulding machine 2 and moulding machine 1 rolled up to the moulding area, followed by the assembly machines rolled up to the assembly area, and ultimately all the machines / areas are rolled up into the plant overall value. Okay, we have just covered the basics of creating a report and saving a report template. Now I want to take a second to describe in a little more detail the 4 basic report types. When we created our sample report, you will have noticed a number of report types. These boil down to 4 basic types: production reports, loss reports, log reports, and the roll-up report. Production reports include the production trend and production by object report types. These reports typically show KPIs either trended by time period, for example by day or by hour, or they show KPIs broken down by object, for example by machine or by part. Let's look at some examples from the demo. The production trend reports typically show data grouped by time, hour, shift, day, etc. The OEE by hour report, for example, shows OEE values by hour. See the data grouped by hour in the chart and in the table. The production by object reports, on the other hand, typically show data grouped by object, machine, lot, part, etc. The OEE by machine report shows OEE values by machine, as we see in the chart and in the table. Note that in most cases the production trend and production by object reports can be configured to be identical. It is only when we look at advanced configurations we see the differences. We will deal with advanced configurations in a separate video. In the loss reports report type, we tend to see the data grouped by individual losses. Like for the production reports, we have 2 types. And again, they are almost identical except for advanced configurations. In the assembly area losses report, we see the data grouped by losses, but also by machine. This report shows the accumulated time for each loss, as well as the number of occurrences of the loss. In the advanced OEE loss by period report, we see the data again grouped by loss, but also by shift. With log reports, we simply show the raw mode, that is to say downtime reason, or count values as they were captured. The daily downtime log shows the mode reasons that were captured for assembly machine 1. The chart shows how the mode alternated between running and stopped. The assembly machine 1 yield log report, on the other hand, shows a log of the counts recorded by hour. Our final report type is the roll-up report. We have already covered this report in detail earlier in the video. So I just generated here for completeness, but refer back for a detailed explanation. Now let's look at some of the report template management features. The report template table shows you the reports which are visible to you. This will include reports you own, as well as reports that have been shared with you. The report owner is the user who created the report and manages the report. Note, administrators can see all reports, whether they are shared or not. We have already seen how to create a report template. And we have seen that we can run the report by either clicking the report record or the preview button. To modify a report, we click the Modify button and walk through the report settings, making changes as we go. For example, I'm going to change the machine object filter on the report from Assembly Machine 1 to Assembly Machine 2. Save the report template if you wish to keep the changes. To create a copy of an existing template, click the Copy button. A new record appears with the default text Copy of prefixed to the original name. You can modify the report settings and the template name as shown previously in this tutorial. To remove a report permanently, click the Delete button. The Report Access button allows you to share your report template with other users. You can tick the Open Access checkbox to share the report with all users, or tick individual users checkboxes if you wish to limit access to specific users. You can also assign the ownership to another user. Notice the OEE by hour report is shared with all users. But I have not shared my sample report to any other users. If I log out the admin user and log in as user, I will have access to a number of shared reports. But I will not have access to the My Sample report because it has not been shared with the user. Notice also that I can run the shared reports, but I cannot edit the reports because the user login is not the owner of the reports. The final thing I want to show you in this section is how to schedule the report to be sent by email. Click on the Schedule button, click the Add New button, enter the task details, set a time to send the report. The night shift ends at 7 AM, so I'll set the task as 7:10 AM, just after the night shift ends. The Previous Radio button indicates that the report is to be run for the previous period, not the current period. I want the previous night shift to be sent, not the current shift, which would only be 10 minutes old when the task runs. I can set which days the report is to be sent. Let's pick the days following normal workdays. The HTML format will show the report in the body of the email message. And I can set whether or not to attach the report to the email in PDF or CSV format. Finally, I select the report's recipients and save the task. We now see the scheduled task appear in the table. We can also see the calendar icon appear beside the report to indicate there is an associated scheduled task. To test the task, I can run it immediately by clicking the Run button. Click the Schedule button to refresh the table. and we see that the report was sent successfully in this case. Now the last thing I want to talk about in this video is user security. Users gain their permissions from the user groups that they are linked to. Let's look at the admin user. Head up to the Plant Admin User Admin section. Click on the admin user and note that the user is linked to the administrator's user group. Now let's check the administrator's user group. Go to the user group admin and click on the administrator's group. Click on the Security tab. The left-hand side shows the machines that the user group can access, and the right-hand side shows the application access. Scroll down to the OEE monitoring section, and then down to the reports subsection. Notice the administrators group can access, create, modify, and delete reports. The reports admin permission enables the user to edit reports, even if they are not the owner. Now switch to the user's user group and browse the report's security settings. Notice the user's user group does not have admin rights. And this is why, when logging in with the user account, we were not able to edit reports owned by the admin user account. There is a lot more to know about reports, but I think we have covered most of the basics here. In a future video, we will show the advanced features. So we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you have any queries, please contact us. Our email address is support@providium.com. See you in our next video.